Hello, and welcome to Norm's Real Estate Tips. I'm Norm Warner, a full-time realtor here in Milford, Michigan, speaking to you today from my home office in Milford. I basically cover the whole southeastern portion of Michigan, including the Milford area, Commerce, White Lake, Highland, South Lyon, over to West Bloomfield in Oakland County, and then Green Oak, Brighton, and Heartland in Livingston County. I hope this series of posts will help you understand better the real estate process. Real estate is not rocket science, but it does have a lot of steps and places where mistakes could be costly. So I hope this helps you. This first series of posts is about first-time buyers, or for first-time buyers, I should say, or someone who hasn't bought or sold a house for quite some time and wants to better understand the real estate process. There are three things I'm going to talk about that you should do before you start visiting houses. Now, I know you've probably been looking online for some time on places like Zillow or Realtor.com, but these three steps will help turn you from a looker into a buyer. The first step is to get a good realtor. A good real estate agent can act as a guide or an advisor for you through the process. Just like you would hire a guide for a big game hunting trip or maybe a big fishing trip up north, a realtor can help you get through the process, find the right house, and help you through the steps to buy that house. So get a good realtor. Fortunately, you know one here in Southeastern Michigan, but if you're somewhere else, ask friends, relatives, co-workers if they can make some recommendations for a good realtor for you. There's a great article online by Elizabeth Weintraub called Top Reasons to Hire a Real Estate Agent. It's on the site thebalance.com. So go there, look that article up and read through it. It's got about 10 or 12 reasons why a realtor is important in this process. The second thing is to get a good mortgage person. Now, if you've got a good realtor already, they can probably recommend a few that you should go talk to. But get a good mortgage person to sit down with them and determine what you can really afford in your first house. This may be an eye-opening session for you, maybe pleasantly so if he tells you you can afford more than you thought. More likely, it will be a slap of realism about what you can really afford on your first house. That $200,000 house may not be in your future right away, maybe your second house. The third thing to do is, while you're with the mortgage person, I should say, you should get pre-approved too. Now you may say, oh, I haven't even found a house yet. Why should I get pre-approved? Well, that's another part of turning you from a looker into a buyer. When you make an offer, sellers want to see proof that you can get to the closing table and actually close the sale. Your pre-approval supplies that proof. People who make offers without pre-approval are often ignored or immediately rejected. So get your pre-approval while you're with your mortgage person. Third thing is to make some lists. I recommend 3 lists. The first list should be the things you must have in a house, the amenities or the features that you just can't live without in a house. That helps narrow the search down. Then there's a list of things you would be nice if you could find in a house. You may not get them right away, but if you could, you'd prefer that house over another one that didn't have them. That helps your realtor also. The third thing is to make a list of the areas you might want to live in. They can be areas that are close to work, areas that are close to restaurants or cultural events, maybe areas that are close to sporting venues. Things that would make it nice for you if you lived in those areas. I do recommend that you do some drive-bys or drive-throughs in those areas that you think you want to live, and do it both in the daytime and night so you can see how the area looks and what the activity is in those two day and night type scenarios. So those are 3 things you should do before you even start looking. Next, we'll probably cover things you should think about or know about before you start visiting. I call it visit etiquette or home visit etiquette, so that you don't make faux pas when you're out visiting with your realtor. Hopefully you'll learn something from this process. I know I learned something from every new first-time buyer that I ever worked with, so it's a mutual process. And we'll see you next time on Norm's Real Estate Tips. Thank you.